I never thought I would write a book. I started waking up at in between 3:30 to 4 a.m. in the morning and started doing my practice. And that is the time it was actually everything has changed. Obviously, I was not the Santosh when I was writing. So I was obviously in a different state of mind. Once you have the clarity within what you want and everything goes in the same direction. When I wanted a job in Germany, it was too difficult. I did not knew that much of German language, but however, I was quite clear in my mind. I will work to that one, and whatever it might be, I will go through it. My now day-to-day life also there are a lot of challenges, but I'm not focused on the challenge. I'll be focusing more on like now what is the solution for that one. I don't see it as any kind of obstacle or barrier. We had to have a very good clarity. So this book will help in that way. It's like if a person doesn't know anything about yoga or haven't come across what it is, and so this will really help them to start a bit fundamental through the thought process, basically how they can change the thought process and how they can focus into an internal one and start their inward journey.
Namaskaram. Welcome back to the podcast. We didn't have an episode for quite some time, but I just spoke to Santosh from very close to Frankfurt, where I live. We met at a satsang, and he shares about his journey of writing and publishing a book, which is coming out on August 15th. And I just felt like bringing out this entire podcast because it was a very, very smooth conversation and I enjoyed it a lot. And I think it will be very inspiring as well for those of you who are tuning into this and listening. And we spoke about his journey, coming to Germany, getting involved in yoga, and then what the book is about, how it happened, and much more. So thank you so much for joining in. Santosh, thank you so much for coming here. And the two of us met at satsang in Frankfurt, and now I just got to know that you're about to publish a book, which is really, really interesting because right now I see there's a lot of people, meditators, who are interested in writing a book. And so excited to talk to you and hear from you how all of this happened. Before that, I would love for you to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience and how you ended up in Germany and your journey with Isha.
Sure. Namaskaram. Thank you so much, Anna, for the invite and organizing the call. It's really nice connecting to you from after a long time. So how I entered in Germany is I came here for my master to study masters in 2014, and then I completed in 2016. Started my job as working. I was working as a senior consultant. Now I'm freelancing as a financial advisor. The journey to the Isha is completely different, and it was kind of like it was pulling me there. In 2016, I think in 2015 or 2016, I think Sadhguru had visited Berlin. I was in Berlin that time, but at that time I was not that much of interested in all these meditations or yoga because I had an assumptions kind of thing, you can say, or else not an assumption. You can consider. I thought yoga is more about stretching and it's kind of different exercises. So if I really need it, I can go to gym, and why I need yoga. I was totally like in zero knowledge about yoga,
Same,
and
same.
I never thought of, then I told my friend, okay, you go and come. I don't, not in that situation now. So yeah, then I just ignored it, and a couple of times when I was traveling back to India, usually I had an habit to read a book, not if completely, but at least to collect the books. I can say like this. So there were a lot of books were stacking in my bookshelf, and one time when I was traveling back to India, I took the inner engineering book and never opened it. I just kept it.
But you
So
even went to the live, like you went to see Sadhguru in person.
yes, later stage.
Oh, so in Berlin you were there, but you didn't go.
No, I didn't
Ah.
go. So I just missed that one. Means, I really didn't knew anything about yoga and all those things
But you
at
did
that
knew
time.
about Sadhguru?
And no, I didn't knew about the
Mm.
Sadhguru also. It was very new to me that time, and I was in like a job search. That was the main focus for me, and I was doing that one.
Mm.
Since getting the job was the focus. Recently, I had graduated, so I just distanced myself from there. And yeah, and later I had a book of inner engineering, because that time I had heard and like read about a little bit about the Sadhguru. So I'm basically attracted to the yogis, basically. Consider the Swami Vivekananda and Yogananda Paramahamsa. These are like an inspiration kind of for me from long time. Especially the Swami Vivekananda from my childhood. I always, because we had a lesson in our schools. So I learned about him, and it was very inspiring. And I don't know, somehow I was like a more intrigued to him. But later, when I saw the inner engineering book with Sadhguru picture on that one as a yogi, then it was saying like a yogi's guide to inner peace written on that book. So it was like a bit of attracting, kind of like it pulled me out. Then I took the book, but I didn't read it. And at the later stage, and in 2019, I think, when I started and focusing on how to enhance human potential, because I see many people who have come up with, and who are very successful or something, who have achieved something in their life at some one or the other of their skills. And when I just see it myself, or there will some other people also be bit of jungling, what is going to be, like we have a particular skill. So is it by birth or how it is? There is no clarity. Always we find an excuse saying, yeah, they have the skills, or else it's a by birth skill sometimes. But that's not the truth when it comes in the life. It's like life is just, everyone is born like that, and we have made it and we have messed it up.
Mm.
So everyone has the same potential to enhance their skills. If you don't have anything, then obviously if you're passionate and you have the proper focus, then you can enhance those skills and get those skills. So this kind of thought and started in within me, and I started exploring the ways how to enhance the human potential. Basically, for example, some well-known business people are the very successful people, and we are familiar. So if we or anyone consider him or her as an icon, it's like to whom they have to be, it's like they have to be like him or like her. Then if you just see the way of life, how they are living, then they will come across. Okay, For example, I don't think they'll be sleeping 8 to 9 hours or 10 hours a day. And so these are the lifestyle we have to make changes, but we just see the end result, not the lifestyle.
Yes.
So I started focusing on there. Then I thought, okay, then it is possible to, reduce the sleep. It is possible to, proper restructure your lifestyle and how you eat and all those things. When I started researching, or like that thought came in my mind, and I started reading some books. But yeah, after some 2 to 3 months, I read around like 20 books. Then I came across like Yogananda Paramahamsa book, a biography of Yogi. So that was completely a change or the shift into my approach, because I was before earlier I was reading some different books, and it was more focused into only the mind. Yeah. Then when I read about the Yogi biography book, that one from Yogananda Paramahamsa, then it was completely a shift in the way I am seeing it, how to enhance the human potential. It was completely changed. And then I thought, like, okay, this is the time to explore the yoga. And I kept it at the last option, because I wanted to try it, because I was for sure, I knew that time, once I start the yoga, then I don't think I will come back from that, because that book was so much of inspiring. And also I was driven to the Swami Vivekananda's life. And so these things had already, it actually, by reading that book, it brought back my childhood memories, kind of thing, when I was, very much intrigued with the Swami Vivekananda. Then I thought, like, okay, first me explore different things. What are the other opportunities, or what are the other ways in the here, means like how to enhance the potential. So I did some training, some coaching, but yeah, then I experienced some things, and then I later went to the yoga, and I was very adamant that I wanted to get initiated with Sadhguru itself. So then I went this time. It was the third time almost. Then I it's like made my focus, and made the focus into that I'm going for this yoga, and I want to get initiated through Sadhguru, and I don't want it to miss this time. So straight away went to Chennai. I was working here, so usually I go to India in December. And luckily in 2019 December, there was an inner engineering completion by Sadhguru in Chennai. And yeah, there I started my yogic life, you can say, more or less.
Wow, that's super, super interesting. So books were a large part of your whole life, they were like one of the main inspirations, which were kind of pinpointing you to where to go. And now you wrote your own book.
Yeah, definitely. I had used to collect a book. It's hard, but I never finished. But when I started thinking, or like, when I started exploring the how to enhance the human potential, like how to go to the beyond what we are, how to break the boundaries, then I started reading some books. In 3 to 4 months, I just read 20-25 books. And then I thought, like, okay, they were kind of always almost saying the same thing. So, but I couldn't get any direction from there. So it was like an kind of closed loop. I needed a path, I needed a way. So then that is why I kept like an yoga as the last one, so that I wanted to see what are the other ways, then wanted to, like, explore the yogic life. And yeah, that's how I came into this yoga one.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And then, so since you've been on the journey, since you've been making use of the tools of the yogic science, how did the idea of writing your own book and sharing a glimpse of learnings and inspiring other people, how did that come?
Yeah, it was an accidental, I can say. So because I never thought I would write a book. When I was reading, I mean, there might be in my subconscious that I should write a book or something, but I never had a very serious thought or thinking on to write a book. Yeah. So, but when I started this yogic life, it was completely a different one, and it was like an when I started in the 2019, I was just like I'm doing normally the practices. It was not that structured or anything. So, but I thought like I need to do it more structured way. Not like can get up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and do your practice whenever. Instead of that one, I thought it is let's make it a more structured way. And it was always challenging for me to get up in the early morning. So I took it a challenge and okay, let me break this boundary. And I started waking up at in between 3:30 to 4 a.m. in the morning and started doing my practice. And that is the time it was actually everything has changed. Then I understood that by consciously seeing what is going within and what is happening, it was predominantly confident like and okay, this is if you follow the practices in a more structured way on the same timing or the same certain, you have to dedicate a certain time period for that. If you do that one, obviously the enhancement will be more easier than the other way around. It's like it might take some more time to get. Obviously if yoga is in your life, then you are not uh, far away, or you are not going anywhere. Enhancement is the only solution there. So you will be enhanced. But if you want a little bit more, then obviously a way to get a discipline and a structure is very important. That's what I learned. And that's when I started. I used to write in blogs in sense for myself, whenever I had some poetic thing or some kind of wisdom kind of thing, I used to write. I used to just keep it myself. I had one blog which I had hosted a couple of years back. Then I just wrote some couple, then I shut it down. But this time also, when I started doing the yoga very structurally in the early morning, things were started flowing within me. It was not like I had to write it or anything. It was just like flowing. The content was just flowing within me, and I thought like, okay, this might be kind of another blog or anything like that, and I just ignored for some couple of days. So first I thought it might be in my own mind which is repeating something. Then I distanced myself and I was focused on my this practices. But however, there was too much of information. Then I thought like, let me just note it down or write it down, whatever it is. Just then I started noting it down. I thought it might be a blog or anything, but it became kind of have a one chapter, second chapter, third chapter, like that one. It became. Then I thought, okay, let me make it a book kind of thing. Then I structured it, and then I started working on that one to make it more structured way. So at the end, it became a book, and yeah, that's a pretty the short story. How I started it. I never imagined I would be writing a book, but yeah, it became a book.
What practices were you doing at that point in time, just as a reference?
Yeah, there were a lot actually. Not much, but yes, somewhere. I start. I used to start. Now also, I start my day with like a Guru Puja, and before that, I do with like a Bhuta Shuddhi, Guru Puja, and then Shambhavi, some Upa Yoga like for the neck practices and the Yoga Namaskara, and Surya Kriya also started. So yeah, Surya Kriya, I started doing the 3 cycles. So I found it is more beneficial than doing the 1 cycle.
Yes.
And yeah. So yeah, these are the normal nowadays I'm doing. But now I added Devi into my life, and she is also playing a very big role. Yeah, now I also do the Devi Stuti 3 cycles. Yeah. So it's pretty like almost like in 3 to 4 hours it will take, depending on how much time I sit after completing everything, closing my eyes. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it gives you also freedom when you wake up earlier. You have like more time to just
Yes.
sit and just be in it, and enjoy the state, instead of having to rush and finish things because you want to do something with your day, right?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. At the
wonderful.
beginning, I was bit of like, when I started waking early in the morning, I had so much of time. I didn't know what to do. So this kind of things might sometime, if we are not stable within, can pull me back to the bed. What to do in the when I wake up in the early morning, what I need to do. So if you really structure that one, if you use those time for what we really want to do, then time will be less whatever we do.
Actually, I have a friend who wakes up and he does his practices, and then he reads for 1 to 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
Like that's his. He says he loses himself in the books. He completely loses track of time and everything. He just reads, and he does also very basic practices. He doesn't do advanced practices, so he hasn't learned that. But even with those, there's the intensity that he's doing them with. That's what matters. It's not how many practices you're doing.
Yes, definitely.
But
I knew some couple of meditators. They are similar to him, like, and they are just doing Shambhavi. That has given, I can change that. I can see there are a lot of changes within them. I knew them like from earlier before yoga, and I see them after initiated to Shambhavi, and they are completely a different person. So it doesn't matter like, and if you do hundreds of practices or just only one, even a namaskaram is also in one practice. If sadhana itself, if one takes it into an intense level, so this is from my experience that it can be only very small one, it can be multiple. However, whatever you feel comfortable, that will be the way to it.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. I want to know what is the book about? What is the title? Like what is the title? What is the book about? Tell us more.
Great. Yeah. So the title is about like how to the way to success is in what. So when I did little research, it was like bit of, I didn't know what exactly the what I'm writing or what is going on. But then once I completed, then I thought, okay, what I need to give the title. And I just read a couple of times. I just went on the seeing the titles or whatever the content I got, and obviously the content was not very much new or anything. It was already from my lessons which I had learned through the life which had taught me in my past. But now it is more. I was able to connect the dots. The basically uh, by seeing the backward, I was able to connect the dots. What happened and why it happened. Like how it. What are the things I learned in that process, basically. So then I thought like, okay, this is the way to success is inward, not the outward, or whatever we see the outside is just an reflection, or whatever a person has thought to do it, or else whatever a person had an aim or goal within himself to achieve certain thing, and the end result what we see as an external material or external thing, but the source is always an internal. Then it was very related to the what I was writing, because the chapters and the book is basically about giving the fundamentals and how one can start their inward journey. Before this, and there might be a lot of ways, and obviously just by closing your eyes and listening to yourself is can be one way also, but this is completely based on my experience, how I was doing before, and what I am doing now after like basically starting my yogic life and the yogic path. The difference, and basically it's a comparison of my own experience before and after, and that it drew me into this. The title, "The Way to Success," is inward, not an outward. So yeah.
I want to quote a piece of the book and ask you a question on that. Fundamentally, a desire is external, but to accomplish it, one has to focus internally. And so my question is, why does one have to focus inward to become successful in the world?
Great, yeah. So if you break it down, for example, the success, what I defined in the book is nothing but a desire to achieve something, or a desire to grow. So that a desire is always grown within. It's not an outside one. So outside, whatever we see, it's just the end result. Just for example, if you or anyone around them, they see at this moment, whatever the material we see, it is completely like it has born in within a person, like okay, the necessity of that material, the necessity of that bringing into the world has born within someone. Then it took and shape, and all the process, I hold the process will take shape, and then it comes into an external world as a product or anything. So if you consider the source, for example, if I take the mobile or the smartphone, the necessity of that one had came to a person as an idea or as a thought. Then he took that into the next step into the processes, and made that into a real product. Like that one, if you consider anything, any material world, basically, if you're thinking of the success, if you're seeing into a success of to build a business, or to be a best like a singer or dancer, or to get a job, because success is different for everyone. It's not the same for each person. So if you consider that one, whatever a desire has to be born within, so it cannot be in the outside. The external thing can influence to an extent. However, the more the new ideas or whatever the new products comes into the things into the market are basically the internal. It has to born within someone the necessity of those things. Hence, it is the fundamentally desire is nothing but it comes within.
Yes. So the end result is outside.
Yes.
But the process, the path, how to actually get there is inside.
Yes. Definitely.
And so in this book, you share two tools or experiences how to find out one's desire, how to, like, the basis of desire and the path?
So what I want to convey here in the book is, the book I wrote it in very short kind of thing and very straight to the point. I wrote it in a very short, I mean, like, I think the whole complete book is around like a 90 to 100 page, I think. So because nowadays a lot of people also doesn't want to read a book, and they don't have time to read a book. So considering those things and also the content which I wanted to share, I made it very crisp so that anyone can, who even haven't read a book, can easily read it and finish it off in within a couple of days or even one day or something. So what I want to convey here is not to be, we don't want to compete with anyone. For example, that a person has a skill set, whoever who is successful, by seeing him or her, that one, okay, he got a lucky, or he had skills, he had that support, he didn't. So, but however, we are just seeing the end results. We never know what he has gone through, even though he had all the resources. But it is always challenging to make it happen. So it has to be like a person has to be very dedicated for that one, disciplined and stubborn in the process. Without that, it cannot be done. The fundamental message here is not to feel yourself low, or by seeing that, okay, I don't have any skills, and how can I be successful, I don't know whether I can achieve it or not. So all these questions, basically whatever the desires one person has within to achieve within. So in the process of life, it's like the process when he is living his life, we tend to forget what we had desired, what was the what we really want to do, basically. So we tend to forget that one, and we indulge into the drama of the life. So here there are two things: either you are not serious with what you want, either you really don't know, or you have given up, it is not, thinking it is not possible. So I want to convey that message is, everything is possible in this world. Whatever you want, you can become, and it is possible to achieve anything. Only the question is, how willing are you, and how stubborn are you to go into that, take the first step, and make it happen. So this is the basic thing what I wanted to convey, and break the dilemma of the success is only for some people and not for everyone. So that I wanted to break it out.
Yeah, breaking down also limiting beliefs that people have.
Yes. Yeah.
And kind of inspiring us to take action and to actually believe in ourselves.
Yeah. So it is now the trend is, whatever it is, mainly we are focused on the external. So if it is more focusing on the internal, then automatically the external situations or everything will be changing. Because once you have the clarity within what you want, and everything goes in the same direction. Because this is from my experience from the past. For example, when I wanted a job in Germany, it was too difficult, because I did not knew that much of German language, and it took my confidence of not getting a job. And but however, I was quite clear in my mind, I need a job here, and I will work to that one, and whatever it might be, I will go through it. I did part-time jobs, some couple of part-time jobs, to take care of my livelihood. But I never left the thing of getting a job and applying and learning the German, which at the end tend to give me the good result, and I got a job. So that is the one example. It's like if we take the only the weakness or what we cannot do, if we make that as the strong one, or if we see only that, then I don't think it will be an easier, or it will be more difficult, to achieve or to have that confidence within. Hence, we have to focus on, that I can do this, I can develop this skill. There is nothing that it cannot be. So I just need to be more focused and give more time to that one. I can learn it, or I can develop it, or I can practice that one. So by like this, we can enhance one's journey and also enhance one's skill, and ultimately get what you desire, what a person is desiring.
Yes, that's so powerful. And one thing that anybody can do is, go to a successful YouTuber's page and go to their first video and then see where they came from. Like, look, like you will laugh. You will think, why? How did this person get here? And then you can see, let's say, 3 months from the first video, 3 months, like just see their journey of getting better at it, because they have committed to doing that. And through the commitment, the right resources, the right people came into their lives. And I see that a lot also in my own journey, that, when you have a certain vision, things tend to fall naturally in place. But when you try to force something because you're trying to be like somebody else, like, having the kind of success like somebody else, then you stumble and you don't get anywhere, and you're asking yourself, why can't I be like that person? But it doesn't work like that. It's not like two people on this planet can do the exact same thing. Everybody has their own purpose, if you want to call it, desire. So wonderful that you are writing this, that you wrote this book, and now it will be available soon. So tell us, where can the listeners get your book, and when will it be out?
Yeah, definitely. It will be available in Amazon. I'll be making it live on August 15th. It's an Independence Day in India, and it's the 75th Independence Day. I thought to make it live on that day, and it will be available in paperback and also in Kindle version in Amazon all over the world, and in India it will be in Kindle at this moment, and after it will take a little bit, like in a couple of days more after August 15th to get the paperback. But it will be available in Kindle version in all over the world.
Wow. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Is there anything else that comes to your mind that you wish to share?
At this moment, what I want to share is read this book as a new baby kind of thing, without keeping any beliefs or any assumptions in the mind. It will take into the different way and different path, because it's not written by referring to some books or anything. It's completely based on my own experience, and definitely it has an content where everyone can relate to themselves, and focus on what you are doing and what you want to do. If there is no clarity, then wait for it. It will come. For sure it will come. So that is the very important part of the book. Also, in one of the chapters I have mentioned that also. But you have to be stubborn and focus on what you want to be, and then everything falls into place. Only when there is a resistance, obviously there will be a resistance, and that is why we need a stability within. This yoga has changed the way I perceive things, because whenever, obviously in my now day-to-day life also, there are a lot of challenges, uh, but I'm not focused on the challenge. I'll be focusing more on, like, now what is the solution for that one. I don't see it as any kind of obstacle or barrier. It is more that there is something in the path. I just need to check what it is and find a solution to that one, and make a way for myself. So in that sense, we have to be very focused in that way, and very stable within, because our mind tend to take it to a different level and freak out every time and procrastinate. So we have to be careful, and how we are going to be, and that has to be very we have to have a very good clarity. So this book will help in that way. It's like, if a person doesn't know anything about yoga or haven't come across what it is, and so this will really help them to start a bit fundamental through the thought process, basically how they can change the thought process, and how they can focus into an internal one and start their inward journey, which will ultimately lead to their success.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder also for those of you who are listening to this, and you have experienced yoga, and you might have some family members who are not interested in this book. Could be an introduction to it, without overwhelming them with the information, but going like the basics step by step.
Yeah, exactly.
And the name of the author, yeah, that you used, tell us about that.
Yeah. So similar to this one, I was thinking what to name it, because obviously I was not the Santosh when I was writing. So I was obviously in a different state of mind, and during that time it is not the normal me. So it has to be someone else. It is not me. So then it just came into my mind when I was sitting for a meditation. There's an Sadhshiva as a name. So the Sad means inner intelligence, and Shiva is boundaryless. So a person can be a boundaryless through his or her inner intelligence.
So can you say that again? Sad means
inner intelligence, and Shiva means boundaryless. So one can be a boundaryless, or let me put it in this way: one can break his or her boundaries through their inner intelligence. So that's the meaning of the name. But however, like another name will be another meaning to that one is Sad means the Sadhguru, and Shiva means obviously ultimate the Shiva, whom we all know, Adi Yogi. So the another way for another meaning to all the people who know Sadhguru and know about the yoga, and they completely believe it is like the way to Shiva is Sadhguru. That is what the meaning, another meaning to that one. So, but for the real, like, and logical meaning, if you are thinking, then it is more to break a boundary. You can do it through your inner intelligence.
Yes.
Or else you can also break your boundaries by just going like and putting everything on Sadhguru. He will show you path to Shiva, and yeah. So that's the meaning of the name.
Awesome. Yeah, that just popped into my head. And so wonderful that we got to know about this. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Really inspiring. Hope
Thank
everybody who's listening to this is grabbing one of your books, and I took a look into it, and I did find exactly what you said. It's really like breaking down the basics and like this step by step, giving people, you know, hints and making it very relatable also, and yeah, easy to read. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
great.
Thank you.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment down below if you like these longer format videos or if you prefer the short ones.